Hello, hello. Welcome to Sunday Stamping with Susan and Julie. I'm Julie Davison, and this is my mom, Susan LaCroix. We have been demonstrators for almost 20 years, and Sunday Stamping with Susan and Julie is our weekly video series to share new projects with you featuring Stampin' Up's latest products. So I'm so glad that you're here. If you're not already a subscriber, make sure to hit the subscribe button so that you can see all of our videos. Sunday Stamping with Susan and Julie is weekly every Sunday at noon Central Time and 1 p.m. Eastern Time. So happy Sunday, Mom. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. It's been crazy, but yes, great. We have
cannot believe
finally.
Oh my goodness. I was gonna say, I can't believe it's the third week of January. I feel like it's just gone so fast. And I think all these spring stamp sets in the mini catalog have me really thinking spring. And so I keep forgetting that it is winter. But with that snow, I'm sure you're not forgetting.
No, not at all. Not at all. And poor little Bella, she doesn't like to put her bottom down in anything cold and wet. So it'll be okay.
We haven't had a good snow here yet. I mean, honestly, probably a few weeks out. Like February is usually when we usually get like 1 or 2 big snows each winter. And it's usually like the middle of February. I don't know why. I don't know what's so special about the weather and that date.
I don't know. I know that I always think about it in terms of the farmers need the snow. They need the snow so that as it melts, it moistens the soil. So it's important for them. So I know everybody goes, "Oh, I hate snow," but we need it. So
we have had some rain, so we haven't been precipitation free. The temperature just keeps like fluctuating, like a little bit of rain and then it gets cold and
as you point out, spring is going to be right. Somebody on Facebook put down the days and the weeks of the days kind of a thing. So I don't know, but we should get going here and show. I am so excited about our suite this week. Let me flip the camera and you can tell us all about it. I can't wait. All right, hang on a second. I gotta shove this chair over. Okay. All right, so this week we're featuring New Horizons. It's on page 42 and 43 of your mini catalog. And I'm going to go through all of the products. I just love this. I love this designer series paper. And when I first saw it, I was like, yeah, that's kind of pretty. But then we saw a presentation at Onstage with Shelly and Sarah showing it. And it was like, okay, now I have to have this. So there it is in all its glory. So here we go. Stamp set. It's got some fun things. First of all, I love these birds. And I think I've used them on every single one of the cards I'm going to show you today. And I love this grass and this wood plank. Oh, geez. I just like it. Thinking if you breathe, relax and enjoy your day. So that's great. And then here are the dies. And so there's this cuts out that you could even just use it as a tag if you didn't want to stamp that image. There's this image, which is this guy. Now it doesn't quite die cut it out perfectly, but it kind of looks cool and you'll see it on a project. This makes this sweet. These little fence pieces, mountains and some other layers. But yes, so there's this, but wait till you see the paper. All right, here it is. There are 12 different designs of this watercolor, kind of some scenes. You could just use your imagination here. Oops, I need to flip this over. This one's very similar, but different. You can almost put these side by side.
Yeah. I feel like they're very abstract, but they can also be very landscapey and
yes. And so our artists did this. I mean, they're spectacular. Look at this.
Oh my gosh.
And you could even flip it over, maybe. No. Some of these, I think.
Sure. I mean, you could. I'm going to kind of show some different ways that the same piece is used to make different cards. So You can put it any way you want to.
This is true. Look at this
and,
one.
and I don't know if you pointed it out, but this is a 6x6 paper pack. So you do get 12 different patterns and 4 of each in the package.
Yeah.
I love that one.
This is my favorite. Just love it. It's got everything you could want in a piece of DSP. And there's this guy and this guy. So all different color combinations too. There's a lot of colors in this.
I feel like it's like, you know, how you can see images in clouds. Like every time you move one, I'm like, oh, I see a rabbit. Like,
and the back side also is, and I think this is more the abstract that you were talking about, Jane. Just some like watercolor washes.
Exactly. I was just going to say those words. And this side is perfect for cutting out, you know, the silhouette shapes, like the trees and the, you know, the mountain and the hill and stuff. So I love these. It's sort of solid, but it's not solid because you have that variation in color. So beautiful.
So that is the paper. Isn't it stunning?
Yes, it is my favorite in the whole catalog.
Yeah, it's very quickly becoming mine. There's also this ribbon combo pack with some Misty Moonlight and what is the other color?
Petal pink.
Petal pink. There you go. So this is fun. This is very soft, very easy to use. I've used it not just with this week, but with several other things. And then this is so fun. If I can find them, what did I just do with it? Oh, there they are. This is some little pebbles. Just not have everything fall. I don't have the package with me. Unfortunately, this is temporarily unavailable. I did a party this past week, and when I was putting orders in and people were ordering this, it was coming up low inventory. So sure enough, this morning, Julie checked, and they will be available again next week.
January 31st is the date that it said, which is of course an approximation, but that's just like a week away. So it's just a temporarily out of stock. It'll be back soon.
Yep, it sure will. But unfortunately, then you can't use the suite number to order everything because of the pebbles. But they'll be back. They will be back.
And you can still order everything else from the suite individually, like the bundle and the designer paper and the ribbon. Just the suite collection item number doesn't work.
Yep. Are you ready, Jay, to show your projects?
Oh yeah, I forgot I was gonna show first. Okay, so let's flip the camera over. I got my desktop here. So I'm laughing because I feel bad. Mom showed me what she was creating first, and then I just decided to sort of do the same thing. Like I'm not doing the same project, but we both love to copy from the catalog. I talked about that a lot lately, casing the catalog. So casing can mean the acronym copy and share everything, copy and steal everything. I like copy and selectively edit. And so today I wanted to share some projects with you that were inspired by the catalog. I'm going to show you one. This is the one I'm going to demonstrate today. And they've got the trees embossed there on the designer paper, but I also made a version of the mountain card and this one down here and this one over here. I've been a busy little bee. So I'm going to show you those first, and then we'll end with that demonstration. But I just wanted to show you how beautiful this paper is and how you can easily create a simple project. So here's a little mini paper pumpkin box that I created. I just added the designer paper. I glued it to the flap and then over and ended here. So it's just one piece, one solid piece that goes over. I added a stamped tag and some ribbon, and I just think it's so beautiful. The paper does all the work there. Next up, I have this one, which, like I said, I cased from the catalog. And this is one of those where I took this designer paper and I turned it and cut it right around where that dark line was. And that's the pattern that I used for the background here. So that's what I was saying. Like, it's sort of abstract in that it can go different directions. It doesn't all have to be, sort of that landscape portrait. I also wanted to show you how I used those back sides to cut pieces for the cards. So like, for example, this one, the grass and the sky are both cut from this. I'm not sure how well you can see the hole in there, from this paper pattern. And then I have this one for the background turned sideways. Here's another one where I die cut the trees, and that's going to be for the next card. So, oops, that's not, hold on, where's that one? This one. Out of order here. Okay, so for this one, there's the trees, there's the hill that's die cut, 2 more hills die cut from cardstock, and then the background I used was this paper piece, and I actually turned it upside down, and I used the orange for the sky and the blue for like the water down here. And then this piece is just a leftover bit from the top. But it turns out that I used this piece for a lot of different cards because I was looking for it in my paper pocket and I couldn't find it. By the way, look what's on the back side. Your favorite piece. Okay, so here's one card that I made using it this way with the orange and the blue. Here's another card that I made with the grassy grove, and I flipped it over this way and used the orange and the green.
Nice.
And then another card, the one I'm going to show you today, uses that same paper, a tall piece, and it's got some blue and the orange and the green in there. So 3 different cards, all using the same designer paper and just different pieces of it. And so I find that this paper is just so versatile in all the different ways that you can cut apart and, select the colors that you want to highlight and mix and match. So here's another one using the grassy grove. And for that one, I used this paper. Isn't that just gorgeous? This is actually another one that I copied from the catalog, or I was inspired by the catalog. So I just die cut that die from black, and then the deer as well are die cut. And I have one stamped image back there, which came from the Grassy Grove bundle. And then another case of the catalog or copy of the catalog, I did this sailboat card using the same paper. I just die cut with the layering circles and added the punched sailboat. And then this is one of the Memories and More cards. So really quick and simple card. And normally you'd have to do all kinds of like blending and watercoloring for these backgrounds, but this paper just makes it so easy and does all the work for you. Okay, one more card to show you, and then I'm going to show you how I made that one. So here is the mountain card. And again, like so much of the work is done for you. I added some of the die cut mountains, and then the breathe and some of the artistry bloom sequins. I sort of framed this with a layering diorama die. So I put the paper full 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 on the cardstock, and then the diorama frame is a little bit smaller. Let me show you the catalog again so you can see my inspiration and my actual card. So I used the layering diorama card, dies, but I did a bigger one, and I used a darker cardstock, but you can see where the inspiration, comes from and how easy it is to just pull these cards together. Okay, so let's go back to this one. I wanted to show you, because sometimes when I'm looking at the samples in the catalog, they have hints like this one. Okay, I need a die cut from that paper like that. But sometimes I'm feeling like I don't know where to start. And I think this paper in particular can feel overwhelming to people. And so I wanted to just sort of break down this project, this one, and show you the steps I used to make it. I'm trying to grab, here's the paper. Okay, so here's the paper again that I use. It has that beautiful meadow on the one side and this one on the other one. And so I just cut here at 3 1/2 inches. And then I ran it through the Evergreen Forest embossing folder. Just grabbing it from the floor really quick. This is the embossing folder. You might have this one. It's in the annual catalog, and it's been in the catalog for, I think it was in the mini catalog and then it carried over. But I ran the designer paper through the embossing folder. So I did it here on this one. I'm going to make a similar card, but I'm using the leftover piece. So this was the 6x6 piece. This one is 3.5 inches and this one is 2.5 inches. So I'm just going to make another card with the other piece. So I'm going to use the blending brush and Old Olive ink and just kind of burnish over those trees to highlight them. Now I'm not going to worry about, putting green where there's no trees. Like if I add extra color to the background, that's okay, because this is like a forest. So there's going to be more green than we can see. But I love how the ink just highlights that embossed area and really makes those trees kind of pop.
So pretty.
Do you ever feel overwhelmed, Mom, by the catalog samples?
Sometimes I do, yeah. And I kind of, as I look at a project, try to decide if I have everything to do the same sort of thing, or do I want to bother?
I make a lot of changes sometimes to simplify or work with the materials I have, but sometimes, the concept artists who create these samples, they're professionals. So sometimes the techniques that they use are a little over my head or a little overwhelming. So I definitely like to simplify a little bit, but this one was really pretty. I really kind of made it pretty true to the original. So now for the sentiment, I'm going to use this wood plank stamp. I love that. And I just did tone on tone here with crumb cake ink on crumb cake cardstock. And then I'm going to bring in the early espresso ink pad for the sentiment. Relax and enjoy the day. And then I just die cut that with the coordinating die. So I'm going to flip those over. And then the other thing that I love, those birds. I did use them a lot on my projects as well. And I have to show you this simple note card that I created using the Oceanfront stamp set and the On the Horizon stamp set, because I feel like those images are really simple and pretty on their own. So this is just a little simple note card. Now the background stamps, there's 3 of them. 1, 2, 3 are from the Oceanfront stamp set, but then all the black ones are from the On the Horizon stamp set. So I kind of combined those to create. So you can do simple, you can, dress it up. You can really do a lot with this stamp set. Okay.
I brought out my Oceanfront as well, because I was thinking how well it was kind of a this goes with that kind of a thing.
Yes.
So I didn't end up using them, but I definitely want to do something with it. I haven't quite figured out what I want to do. So that's for another day.
Yeah. All right, I'm just layering on a piece of early espresso, and then I'm going to take and tear. I've been on this tearing kick lately. And I just love how it adds some texture to a card without, special tools. I did it on the bottom of this card too, which I feel like was really sort of subtle, but I love how it just adds like just a little bit on this card. So this card is actually like a little bit short of 4 1/4 because I tore the bottom edge, and then I cut the inside edge to sort of match that. So it's just a little bit skinnier. It's more like 4 inches on this one. So I tore the edge there, and then I'm going to add this onto the Old Olive card base on the side. And then a little bit of the, I almost called it baker's twine, the linen thread. I'm going to do some loops. So some loopy loops, grab those scissors and cut that. I feel like my loops need to be a little bit bigger. loosen those up a little.
You make that look so simple, and sometimes I really struggle getting the loopy loops to look the way I want it to.
Oh yeah, I do too. There's times when I like I redo my loops a whole lot of times. All right, I'm wishing that either my birds were lower or higher. Like in hindsight, I'm wishing that they were higher. You know what? I might just stamp some more of them.
I was gonna say,
and
just
put
get more birds.
yeah. Oh, snap. Can you tell?
Put a pebble up there. No.
Put a pebble up there. You're so funny.
There you go. Look at that. You took care of it.
Yeah, there's a lot of birds on this card, but that's okay.
Right.
My original plan was I was going to put this like more down here, but that almost highlights that boo-boo. So I'll just come up a little higher.
There you go.
Okay, so I'm going to add this on with Stampin' Dimensionals, and then I want to show you really quickly one of the big changes that I made from the catalog on this card was actually this this sentiment tag, because I didn't really like the way that they did it. All right, so here's my card, and they used white cardstock and then stamped in different colors and cut it off, and I don't know, I just wasn't a fan of that. So here is the smaller piece, the 2.5 inches, and here's the bigger one with the 3.5 inches. So I don't know actually which one I prefer.
They're both
because
great.
I'm leaning towards the smaller piece, which like I think gives everything a little more room to breathe. The other thing I did over here was to allow room to see those birds. I did trim that the sentiment piece down at the top and the bottom to make that a little bit smaller. So leave a comment and let us know this or that, which of these two cards do you prefer, and we'll see which one is the victor. All right, are you ready to show us your awesome project, Mom?
I am ready to show you. All right, so I'm using this piece, which has become one of my favorites, although that's really not fair because there are there's so many pretty sheets in here. All right, now I got to find this. I had this tabbed and now I took my tab out because I was going to just show you again real quickly what the casing, the frame, because it's a framed art, and they use
page 42.
Thank you. They use the entire 6x6 piece on this. And then they put it in a larger frame, which is very pretty. And then they just added some elements to it. So this was my inspiration for this, but I wanted to make it into a card. And I know I've seen at least 2 other demonstrators have done something similar on Pinterest and other places, but I'm going to show you what I did. All right. So I'm using a white card base. So we're going to set that aside. And obviously it won't fit. So I had to decide what I was going to do. So I decided to cut this piece off. And so this then becomes my sky. So we're going to start. So this is going to be 5 and 5, no, 4. Which way am I doing? I'm going this way, right? Yes. So I need to cut it off at 4 1/4. There we go. Right? Yeah.
No,
I've got to cut. I've got to leave a little.
Is it a vertical card?
No, it's a horizontal.
Oh, okay. Then yes, 4 inches.
4 inches. No, because I'm covering the whole thing. So 4 1/4.
Oh, 4 1/4.
Yep. But I'm going to cut just a wee bit off the bottom because I want more of that blue sky showing. So I'm just going to cut maybe a 1/4 inch. Now I'm going to make this be 4 1/4. Excuse me. All right. Oh my. And I'll save this and use it for something else.
Mm.
All right, so now I want this piece to be 5 1/2. So, and I love these flowers on the bottom. So I don't want to lose too many of them. So I'm going to do, I think just, maybe I'll start on the side. And I'm going to go back just a little bit. Oops, 5 1/2. Go this way just a little bit. Okay. I wasn't real exact when I was cutting. I just started cutting.
Yeah, I do that sometimes. Trim a little from this side, trim a little from that side, and then end up with your final measurement.
So there we go. So I have these other little scraps, but this then, done with this guy, is the piece I'm going to work with. And so like Julie, I'm going to stamp some birds. Because these birds are great. They just, I mean, they truly
are
great. Make sure I'm not upside down because I've done that before. And they're going to end up, I can't get them all on. So I'm going to end up just putting a few on there. All right. Now what I did to kind of prep, excuse me, I don't know why I'm doing this, is I love this little fern piece. And so I stamped several of them and then die cut it. And I'm going to cut this apart once I get my frames on, or my fences on. So I've got my fence pieces already die cut as well. And I'm going to take a dauber and some gray granite because I want to just distress these fence pieces just a little bit. So it's going to go, get them oriented the right way so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, get out of the way. So I'm just gonna, I just want a little bit just to take some of the brightness of the white away.
Did you stamp on them too or just dauber?
I'm just daubering.
One of the cards that I made, I did that. I sponged on it, but I also stamped, because I think they do this in the catalog. They stamped the that wood grain, the background, onto the fence to sort of give it like.
I debated.
Yeah.
But I did. All right.
Oh
so
my goodness.
Piece is done. So this piece is done. So now for my greeting, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I also am going to use this wood plank. And I am going to stamp it on basic white, but I'm going to stamp off first. Doesn't matter which way I do it. Because I want it just to be oh so subtle. Then I'm going to take my greeting, which is thinking of you. On there. And just find a section of this that I want to stamp on. And I was supposed to do it in black.
Oh,
I
love the look of that on white. I was thinking about doing that on one of my cards. Oh, you didn't stamp off, did you?
I did. I stamped off.
Oh, I looked away for a second.
Add on you. No. All right. So we're going to do this on black, in black on this little plank.
Oh, you can see that better. That's perfect.
Yeah, well, that was the intent. And then I'm going to take some snips and I'm just going to cut it out. Kind of following the wood grain.
That's really lovely.
Just something a little bit different. I didn't want just plain white. I may have trimmed a little bit too much, but
Yeah, I love how it sort of just adds some texture to that white. And
yep. And I'm going to add a little bit more texture now because I'm going to take a dauber. And I'm going to just kind of edge it a little bit.
Oh yeah.
It just makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
To add a little bit more along the edges. Kind of finishes the piece. Oh, there we go. So thinking of you. So our greeting is ready. Our fence is distressed. So maybe it's time to start putting things together. So I'm going to get out my favorite.
I'm just going to start calling it mom's glue.
There you go. And I suppose I could have used the adhesive sheets, but I didn't. So I'm just just doing dots because these aren't big pieces.
Yeah.
So you don't want the glue to squish out. All right, so I'm going to put this guy maybe about here. Too much? Yeah. Here we go. Same thing on the other side. All right. Go this way. And I'm going to kind of go over here as well. So it kind of like leads you down this little path.
Oh, I love that.
So this piece, I didn't want to do a lot of it, but I wanted some greenery kind of over the fence. So I'm just going to kind of cut this piece apart.
Oh,
Figure out where I want some of these little pieces.
that's smart.
That's why I get paid the big bucks. No. I say that to your dad all the time. That's why you get paid the big bucks. All right. So this guy is going to kind of go here. What do you think? You like
I love it. I do. I really like splitting that up. I hadn't thought about making them smaller.
Yeah, my original intent was to do one big piece, but then I thought, oh, it's just too much. I want to fight with the rest of the image.
Yeah.
All right. Right there. Okay, so that creates the bottom of that. And I'm going to go ahead and put this on my card front right now because I'm going to add a few more little things to this. And so I want to just get this on here. Where's I did bring out, well, I can't find it right now. Must be, oh, I pulled it out of the bin to work on another card and didn't put my seal. That's all right. We'll just use my favorite glue. Oh, come on now, don't be. Oh, no, don't do that. Sometimes I find it's a little challenging to line things up.
Now you're pulling a Julie, tearing things apart.
Yes. Yeah. How true is that? All right, so I'm going to grab some little dimensionals for my greeting. at my party a couple days ago, we were talking about dimensionals, and one of the girls said, because I put my nail in, she's like, "Oh, is that your $250?" I said, "Yeah." Julie makes it look so easy. She just puts those things on and pops those backings off, and no problem at all.
I don't know what it is. I just have the right like motion, but I don't use the ones that come in the kits because they're not as easy to just peel off.
Right. All right. So now we want some pebbles on here.
I love these.
So my take a pick is, I don't know. Or someone. The girls used them the other night. All right. I don't think I completely cleaned my table up yet. All right.
This is
so
the poor stampers take your pick tool.
Scissors. All right. And so I'm just going to grab a darker one over here.
I love this detail. I think it really just like elevates the card.
Yeah. So that is my card.
So beautiful.
And I closed my catalog. But there's just so much you can do. The other two cards that I have ready, Julie has been much busier than me. I took some Blackberry Bliss and I cut 3, I think they're 1 1/8 maybe inch panels. I don't even remember anymore. But before I cut them, I stamped the birds. So then I cut them apart and then used, I keep forgetting the name of this label. This is Timeless.
That one I think is Everyday Label Punch.
Everyday Label Punch. And the Relax and Enjoy Your Day is stamped in the Blackberry Bliss. And then I took some Misty Moonlight with the dauber and just lightly went around the edge of that because I really debated about what color, because the Misty Moonlight, you can use card base too, and it gives the card a whole different look. But I decided
that is really pretty. Oh my gosh, I love that so much.
And then what I did was I took the next panel from here, stuck it in there, and I stamped a few little birds on it.
Perfection.
And maybe this should be a little bit skinnier so that there's more room to write a note.
That's fine. There's plenty of room. So you'll have to measure that, and we'll include the measurements in the video description.
We absolutely will. And then the last card that I have to show you is this one.
Oh, yes.
And what I did, this is not how I had it in my head, and this is how it came out. I was originally going to cut out the front so that this piece was on the inside. But look what I did. I had ink all. But then I decided nope. So I just made a frame around this with Evening Evergreen, and I stamped some Evening Evergreen trees and Breathe, and of course the birds. And what I did on the trees, which I put away, there's actually kind of some ground that comes with this on the tree. Right here. So I masked that off because I just wanted the trees. So I took a piece of Scotch tape and put it on I put the stamp on the block, and then I just put a little piece of Scotch tape to cover that, inked it up, took the Scotch tape off, and just stamped the trees.
I love it.
And then Relax and Enjoy Your Day is on the inside, and this is the lines with the trees with the lines. And just don't look at that top.
Oh my gosh, I just love this paper. Like, it's so easy to make simple cards or dress them up, like whatever you do, they're just amazing. Oh, Mom, I love them.
Yeah, so those are my guys for this. You can't go wrong with this paper. Even if you don't have anything else but the paper, look at what you can do. But of course, I recommend you get it all.
Oh yeah, of course. All right, are you ready to switch our cameras around?
I am.
Oh my gosh, I love our cards. I say that all the time when we come back and do our pictures, but they're just so pretty. This paper is the bomb.
It really is. It yeah, I'm very excited about it. And
I think this is one of my favorite suites in the catalog. Like if I had to pick a favorite suite from this mini catalog, I think it would be this one, New Horizons. How about you?
I have to agree with you. And I wish this paper would even, I hope it carries over maybe.
It's always wishful thinking to think that, but papers seldom carry over from mini catalogs. So I know chances are it's not going to be available after the end of this mini catalog, which means if you really like it, you need to make sure that you get an extra pack or two. But you've got celebration going on right now. So now's the time to stock up on all your favorites from the mini catalog, to stock up on cardstock, adhesive, ink refills, all those things so that you can get free gifts during celebration. And you can shop in either one of our online stores. You know the link.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, we're 3 weeks into celebration. So there's 5 weeks left. And this first 3 weeks have just like shot by pretty fast. So it's going to go quickly. Right now, everything's available. So yeah, I don't know. The Awesome Otters and the Simply Marvelous paper, the girls this past week, they all just loved it. And that's kind of what they focused on to be, so I'm like, okay, that's
we need to do another celebration video. So leave a comment and let us know which celebration gifts you are either really loving or really feeling like you need some inspiration for. And we'll look at your comments and we'll pick something to feature in an upcoming video.
Absolutely, which will be in the next few weeks, because as I said, you only have 5 more Sunday stampings before the end of the
it's gonna go so
5 more sleeps. No, 5 more weeks.
I hope you sleep more than once a week, many more than 5 more sleeps.
All right, well, we hope you have a wonderful week. Stay warm, stay dry wherever you are, and happy stamping. We'll see you next Sunday stamping with Susan and Julie. Bye, everybody.
See you next time. Bye.